Well, the holidays are a tough time for families who have had babies in the NICU. There are more than 330,000 premature babies born every year nationwide.
Yeah, and Jody Claristenfeld was one of those moms with her baby in the NICU. And she's joining us now to share her story and how she's helping other preemie parents. Jody, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me and helping me support other NICU families.
We love it. So let's talk about your daughter, Jenna. She was born at 28 weeks. So what was her birth kind of like for you?
Her birth for me was a complete surprise. I was an emergency C-section. I ended up being sick with HELP syndrome, which is an extreme form of preeclampsia. So I walked into the hospital and 2 hours later she was born, and I met her 3 days after that.
Wow. All right, so talk a little bit about what you want other parents to know about premature babies.
I think it's important to know that preemie babies, while they are really tiny, they make up for it in their strength and their resolve. And I can't help but think that children like my daughter, who have had a little rough go of it at the beginning, will be able to call on that reserve when they go through challenging times later on in life. I also want people to know, too, that, growth trajectories are different for every child, but even more so for preemie babies. It's usually unorthodox and rather haphazard, but preemie babies just need a little extra time, support, love, and eventually they'll get to be where they need to be.
Well, her personality was definitely shining in that picture with a big smile on her face. Let's talk a little bit about what inspired you to start your company, Flourish. Tell us about that.
I started Flourish out of what I felt I needed when I was going through my NICU journey. I knew I wanted to do something in the preemie and family space right after she came home from the hospital, but I wasn't sure what exactly I wanted to do. I knew also that big decisions such as career moves should not take place right after another big life event, such as having a baby or getting married. It probably wasn't until I watched Jenna grow and progress with her therapist that I realized I was so fortunate to be able to curate her team. And I wanted to create something where I could help others create their own team and not have it be so difficult.
Well, let's talk about that. What kind of services do you offer with Flourish, and what kind is it creating teams for parents, or are there additional services?
There are a few things, few avenues about Flourish. The first is an audio course where I picture parents in the NICU at the present moment listening to 3 to 5 minute stories while doing kangaroo care, also known as skin to skin, with their baby on their chest, giving them support while they're going through it and not feeling like they are so alone. Secondly, there are resources broken down state by state, county by county for services that most of these families will need once they leave the NICU. And lastly, there's one-on-one coaching with myself.
All right, so Jody, as we head into the holidays, what are some things that preemie parents can do to make things a little bit easier on them?
The holidays are difficult for everyone, but I will say this. The NICU is a very special place. People might be very surprised to learn that. They tend to decorate for all different types of holidays. So what I would encourage parents to do is ask their NICU if they could decorate their child's isolette in something that's festive, or even when you're just visiting your child, read them holiday stories or sing some holiday songs, and perhaps even tell them about what their family typically does during the holidays and how you hope that next year you will all be celebrating together.
All right. Well, Jody, thanks so much for sharing your experience with us and what you're doing every day to help other parents.
Thank you very much.
All right. Take care.